Education unions and school governing bodies are opposing the Basic Education Department's proposal to scrap the October school holidays. This is according to the CEO of the South African Teachers Union, and that's you, Chris Klopper. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Undoubtedly, parents are up in arms as well.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
What's going on?
Well, what happened is that we started picking up several rumors in the education community. First of all, that they want to reduce social distancing in primary schools to 0.5 meters. And then secondly, we also picked up that they've already taken the decision to scrap the October holidays. And then we started inquiring, and we learned that they have indeed taken a particular decision. It's not just a rumor. And the Committee for Education Ministers and the Head of Education, heads of departments, they've taken the decision, and we believe it's the wrong decision. There are other options to consider. And in these difficult times, when everyone is under pressure, we believe that learners and educators must be dealt with soft eyes, soft hands, and that a balance must be struck between, looking at the psychosocial welfare of learners and parents and educators, and then also, the principle of curriculum coverage.
So the Department of Education is saying way too many school days have been lost, and to the detriment, obviously, of the learners. And that is why they are going this route. You don't think it's the right idea?
Well, they are basing their own, let's say their premise, and they're basing their argument on it, that the schools closed at the beginning of the winter holidays a week earlier, and therefore 5 days were lost, and those 5 days now have to be recovered.
Mm-hmm.
And the logical place they say where it can be recovered is the October holidays, and we believe that is not the correct option. There are other options as well.
What would be the other options? Because I'm thinking, in a sense, it does make sense to try and recover those days, but on the other hand, people have made arrangements probably for a well-deserved break with their loved ones. Holidays have been planned, or whatever else you plan for this time, for the October holidays. What are the other options then?
Well, the first option is that you must utilize the last 2 weeks of the school year. District officers, not only in Gauteng but all over the country, they insist that the school's mark sheets and promotion sheets have to be submitted by the end of November, even though the schools only close, in mid-December this year. And in the process, no learner will return to school after completion of tests or exams. It's just the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what happens invariably. So there's no schooling taking place in those last 2 weeks. So what they can do is shift that particular submission of the mark sheets, shift it forward, to let's say the last week or the last 2 weeks of it. Secondly, that COVID has proven that you must trust the professional discretion of principals, of school governing bodies. They know what's in the best interest of the school, and they know if the school is behind on the curriculum coverage or not. And our feedback is that not all schools are behind. Some of them are absolutely up to date, and even some of them, are a bit ahead in the curriculum coverage. And also then is, if they are so concerned about the curriculum, why don't we just focus then on the core subjects? Those core subjects are the subjects that you start with in grade 1 and you end with in grade 12. And that is focus on the languages, reading and writing, and in mathematics, you've got to focus on the principles and basic calculations, and you get that in place. And thereby you ensure that, that no learner is lost in the process. And then, of course, what you need to also be reminded of is the fact that you can't have a centralized system. We have 25,000 schools, walking to the same tune, and everybody is dealt with in terms of the principle of one size fits all. That just doesn't work like that.
Okay, so how are you going to move forward as the CEO of the South African Teachers Union? Are you still going to continue engaging with the Department of Education and ask them to accommodate, to make reasonable accommodation, and rather utilize the 2 weeks that you referred to in December?
It's funny that you use the term reasonable accommodation because no. That is a very strong term in terms of labor law.
Okay.
And that is that you have to look at all other options, to reasonably accommodate people in the system.
Right.
No, it is a weighted phrase, that particular one. Now, they've undertaken that they will go back to the CEM, to the education ministers and the heads of departments, and they will convey to them that the teacher organizations and the parent organizations, the SGB organizations, are not in favor of it, and that there should be other options that they must consider.
Okay, so we're going to watch the space. How soon do you think that they could give confirmation on this? Because obviously parents need to be prepared for whatever the decision is, the final outcome.
They undertook that they will have special meetings this particular week, and they will give us an idea of what the outcome will be.
Okay.
But again, that's not consultation. It's not consultation. And that is almost taking a decision and then informing us of what the decision is. And, in a mature democracy, it doesn't work like that. In a mature work environment, it doesn't work like that. But we will deal with the matter. We will have a discussion with the minister in this regard, because she's an astute educator. She understands the hearts and minds of educators. And we believe that our words will fall on soft ears when we have a discussion with her.
Hopefully so. We will be watching this closely. Thank you indeed for your thoughts on this matter. Go well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
9:02 exactly. We will be taking an ad break, and when we get back, we'll be talking with eThekwini Secure. But right now, news on the hour and financial updates with Nafisa Saider.
Reliable access to clean water could save thousands of lives each day. With proper sanitation and easy